Follow the trend, tend to benefit while avoiding harm. Hello everyone, this is Mr. D. Today I want to share with you the stem branch. What is the stem branch? These are the 10 heavenly stems and these are the 12 terrestrial branches. Don't be afraid to see these characters. Believe me, 95% of Chinese people don't know what these Chinese words mean either. People felt that these symbols were too cumbersome and simplified them. They turned the words representing the 10 heavenly stems and the 12 terrestrial branches into a single word. You can think of these symbols as symbols that represent a variety of different things. Just like the tarot cards, each card has a different meaning. The origin of these words is the same as most myths and legends. A saint or god created them a long time ago. Why can these symbols created by ancient Chinese gods or saints be changed? Because the symbol itself has no meaning. What is meaningful is the meaning given by man or God behind the symbol. So we can completely convert these symbols into English letters, because it doesn't really matter what these symbols are. What is important is the meaning behind them. For example, when you were looking for a lost phone, you got C, which we defined as yin. The Chinese character yin represents cabinets, boxes, wooden products, and cars. So we can conclude that your phone it may be in the cabinet or in the car. With these tips, you can record your actual experience and combine these tips so that you can finally figure out exactly where you lost your phone. In the 大六壬 divination method, 10 heavenly stems are not used much, and we mainly use the 12 terrestrial branches. So it's very important to know what each of the 12 terrestrial branches represents. Subscribe to this channel. I will introduce it in detail in the following videos. All are free. Knowing the meaning of the 12 terrestrial branches is very important in various methods of divination in China. In order to let you see how the divination method of 大六壬 works as soon as possible, I can't introduce the meaning of the 12 terrestrial branches in this video in too much detail. I still take the tarot card as an example. When we use the tarot card to predict the success or failure of something, we need to arrange the tarot cards into a certain formation according to a certain rule. 10 heavenly stems and 12 terrestrial branches are equivalent to tarot cards. In 大六壬, how these symbols are arranged to a certain formation is entirely based on time. So we don't need to buy any cards. We just need to know when you have the idea of predicting something with 大六壬, and then we can arrange a formation with 10 heavenly stems and 12 terrestrial branches and 12 immortals based on time. What are the 12 immortals? I will introduce them in detail in the following video. You can now understand them as 12 symbols representing different meanings. Finally, we use the relationship between the symbols in the formation to predict the development and outcome of something. These relationships are the yin and yang, generation, restriction that I talked about before. And of course, there are many other kinds of relationships, which I will cover in future videos. You must remember the yin and the yang and the 5 elements we mentioned in the previous videos. These two attributes are the two most basic attributes possessed by the 10 heavenly stems and the 12 terrestrial branches. These symbols also have the characteristics of yin and yang and the 5 elements. For example, you can see from the color that the 5 elements of C and D are all wood. The difference between them is that the yin-yang attribute of C is yang and the yin-yang attribute of D is yin. If we regard C and D as 2 kinds of trees, C is the kind of very hard tree and D is the kind of very flexible tree. If we regard C and D as 2 kinds of cars, C is the kind of slightly larger car, and D is the kind of slender sports car. There is still a lot of knowledge about the stem branch. In order to ensure that you have a comprehensive understanding of Da-Liu-Ren divination method as soon as possible, so I cannot introduce all the details of them in this video. Please don't worry that you need to remember a lot of things. Divination predicts things about people after all. All the knowledge you need to learn is in line with our common sense of life. Subscribe. Be your own prophet.